Hello, welcome back to my channel. It's good to have you once more. Today we'll be looking at a particular powerful function in Google Sheets, which is called pivot table. If you've ever struggled to summarize large data sets or wonder how to make rows and columns full of numbers, you're going to love this. By the end of this video, you'll be able to build and customize pivot table with confidence, even if you've never used one before. So let's jump in. First off, what is pivot table? A pivot table is a smart way to summarize, analyze, explore, and present your data with just a few clicks. You can count, you can sum up a total, you can get the average of your data, group it also by categories. Think of this like you don't need to write formula. Google Sheets does the thinking for you. Google Sheets does the writing of the formula for you. So how do we do this? On your menu bar in Google Sheets, go to Insert. Once you click on Insert, you will see the option of Pivot Table. However, before you choose the Pivot Table, you need to select your your data. Make sure you start from where the heading is. You need to select everything. Select the whole data range. You can do your Control A, which is a way of selecting all your data, right? Or you can click here, right? As I've mentioned in my previous video, right? So whichever option that you choose, you should be able to work with. So once you've selected all the data, starting from the first row, go to insert. I will tell you the reason why I said starting with the first row. Come to pivot table, click on pivot table, and you have new sheet, you have existing sheet. I will explain existing sheet later. On default, it will be on new sheet. Just click on create, but make sure you highlight all the data set from the first row, which contains the header. So here is it. If you look here, you have date, farmer's name, shop, product, quantity, unit price, total, sales volume. It's the same thing as your first row on the data. You have date, farmer's name, shop, product to the end. So what pivot table does is that it picks the first row for you. It picks the first row so that it's easy for you to identify what row you're working on. So we have different function on pivot table, right? You have rows, you have columns, you have values, you have filter. We are going to talk about these four. So now we want to check what is the total amount of each of the products that was purchased. What is the total amount for each of the products that was purchased? So I come here, drag the product and put on the row. So what row does is that it arrange each of the item uniquely in in rows on one single column but different row. However, just to quickly explain column as well, right? So if I move the product, I move it and I say column, it will arrange it on a row, but the items will be on different column. However, for the purpose of this class, I will choose to go to put it on row. There is a way you can make a combination of both rows and column of different headers, but for today we are sticking to making just one aspect. So you see it has arranged all the products that is being sold. It has arranged it on different rows but on one column, and we want to know what is the total amount of each of the product, the sum of total amount for each of this product that was purchased. I come to total, right? I click on it and drop it under sum. I drop it under sum. So you see, this is telling me that a total of 594,392 naira was purchased under the product of fan. So this means this is the total amount for fan that was purchased. This is for lagon, this is for maize seed, NPK, rice seed, stove. You can cross check this, I believe, on the data. I don't know if we have make the sum. I will click on this, and let me add a row, and just for me to be sure, and cross check equal to sum. Right, summing this up, let's say from G2 to the last G. So you can see this is giving us 4,222,704. Hmm, something is not. Oh, yes, this is correct. This is correct. 4,222,704 naira. You can see uh, this is correct. Without using formula, all I need to do is to drag and also paste. That is all. So now let's assume for each of the shop, right? Let's assume we want to know for each of the shop what is the total, let's see the count of the items that were, or the number of people that came to purchase from each of the shop. What will I do again? Remember, I said you highlight your data, right? Once you highlight your data, come back to insert, come to pivot table. Once you get to pivot table, initially we use a new sheet. Now I want to show you the existing sheet function. Once you click on existing sheet, you already have your data range, which it has selected it for you, which is from A to H, right? Existing sheet. This is telling you where do you want to place it. So all you need, click here, select. Once you click here, it's saying what location. I'm coming to my pivot table. Right, once you come to your pivot table, select the location. If I want it to stay below this, I put it here. If I want it to stay side by side with the previous one, I'll place it there. So I want it to be side by side. Once I choose it, you see it's saying pivot table 3. It's showing me that the sheet I want to place it on is pivot table 3 and in column in cell D1. So immediately I click on OK, press click on create. It's going to give me an option for me to put this. So now I want to know the total number of farmers that visit each shop, the count of farmers that visit each shop. What I need to do is I will place the shop in in the row, right? So it has given me the total number of shops here. Now I want to check the total number of people that visit each of the shop. So I come to farmer's name and I say value, and I say value. So once you put value, it's already showing me the count. It's showing me the count. So this is showing counter. If I want to check average number of people, depending on the data you are analyzing, you can also make use of it. You can check some, which we've already done. You can check count unique, average, max, like that. You can check each of the items on it. So we are counting the total number of people. So this is showing, it shows that we have 101 people visiting each of the shop. It's showing 101 people visiting each of the shop, and the grand total is 109. However, if you look at the top here, it's showing something blank. That is blank. This is to show you that on the data side, we have a blank space on the data side. If you look at it, this particular row is blank. There is nothing there. So it's figuring it out as something unique, right? The pivot table is figuring it out as something unique. So how do we do away with this blank space? What you need to do is, since we are counting for the farmer's name, drag the farmer's name, also bring it down to filter. Once you come to filter, immediately you drop it there, it shows you this. Click on this is showing show all item. Click on it. Once you click on it, it gives you the different items. So in case if there are items I don't want them to show, all I need to do is to untick them, but it's only blank I want to take away. So immediately I click on my blank and click on OK. It's going to make it possible for me, right? So this is as easy as that. Another way we can also do, right, remember I said you can combine two different items. You can combine two different, you can make some items on the row whilst others on column. So now let's assume I want to check the total number of items that was purchased for each shop. It should display it for each shop. So aside from the first way of creating pivot table, another way is for you to just click the first row. If the range is the same, just click on the first cell on any of the pivot table, and once you click on it, right click and copy it, then take it to where you want to paste it, right click also and paste. As simple as that. It has shown, but it's showing me the same thing here. Now I want to differentiate it. I want a different set of analysis, right? So click on edit. The edit is at the bottom of the pivot table. Once you click on edit, you can take away every other thing you want to take off. I'm removing this, the product. I'm also removing total. I'm removing both, right? Once you remove them, you bring in the set of data you want to put. So now I want to know per shop, right? The total number of items that was purchased per shop. So I put shop in my row, right? It arranged the shops for me. And then the product, I'm going to put the product on the column. I'm putting the product on that column. So you can see it has arranged the product for me on that column. So what do I need to do, right? All you need to do, I want to know the number of product, the count of product that was purchased for. So I pick the product again and place it on that value. I place it on that value. Once I place it there, it will count the total number of items that was purchased for each of the shop. What this is showing me is that we in Batati, in this shop named Batati, we have a total of 14 fan purchase. For bidder shops, we have 15, like that. And if you look, this is already for each of the shop is telling us that each of the shops sold a total of 101 items. And you can see, if you calculate, it gives you a total of it. Isn't it amazing? This is awesome, right? So this is it for pivot table. You can this is it for pivot table. You can always go back and do so many practice for you to understand it better. So thank you all for staying with me today. So I think today we were able, this is a wrap for today. We were able to check the count of items. We were able to summarize the total for each of the items, right? So that is it. Thanks for watching. If this is helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more easy tutorials like this one. You can also drop a comment if you want me to show you how to do a pivot chart or a dashboard. See you in my next video. Bye for now.